Greetings and welcome to a Friday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is June 28th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing great. I'm just riding the golf is hot wave after last night.
What does that mean?
Golf's making its way everywhere. You got Sauce Gardner. You got the presidential debate.
Sauce Gardner thing. Like, look, I know the NFL is king, but like a moderately good to great cornerback who's like I don't know, the 75th most famous player in the league. Golf, just every single person in golf just immediately sinking their hooks. This is not like Pat Mahomes. Like what? Bryson, thirsty boy Bryson, who's the US Open champ, but we love him. He loves the people. The people love him now. He's trying to crowbar his way into the Sauce Gardner discourse. He's trying to crowbar his way into the handicap discourse at the presidential debate. He's being a little thirsty. I feel like he might overplay his hand and get burned in one of these. But yes, golf is having a moment. A lot of people loved the handicap discourse in the debate. I think that was about all they loved. It reminded me, I was thinking about it this morning, and without getting political, I don't think I'm getting political in this. I'm bringing it into our golf world. The debate reminded me of Tom Watson in 2014 Ryder Cup captain trying to figure out, coherently articulate why he sat Reed and Spieth. There's a great Will Gray tweet out from Live in the Moment as he like meanders his way to try to articulate why Reed and Spieth were not playing in the afternoon session at Glen. It was just like, whoa, he's a little too old to be in the heat of the battle here. Doesn't know why he did what he did. And Zach Johnson last year, trying to articulate away past indiscretions, just completely lying through his teeth, making stuff up on the fly. That's my comp for what we saw last night, trying to figure it out. 2014, Tom Watson, and 2023, Zach Johnson. But handicaps made it into the discourse, so that was a good moment for golf.
My favorite tweet I saw was, okay, if you don't live in the U.S., please turn the debate off. This is our private family humiliation, and we'd all prefer you not stare.
That was good. My wife was laughing about that. She brought that to me this morning. She doesn't get on social media, but she enjoyed that one. All right, so golf's having a moment. Not having a moment or piecing out of golf on this Friday as we record is Seth Waugh. Some news of moderate significance or great significance, depending on what you think. Seth Waugh is leaving his role at the PGA pretty soon. I mean, effective almost immediately, June 30th. A curious rollout and timing. I would consider it abrupt and sudden and unexpected. If this were in the plans, I think we would have heard about it, Valhalla. There would have been like sort of this longer transition moment. And no, he's out, essentially a week, which signals to me there is an unexpected tinge to this. Maybe this wasn't necessarily some things, people weren't all on the same page, whatever it is, but he is out. Do you have any hot takes, reaction, or thoughts about this?
I don't have a ton. I wonder what happened. I hope it's for like what's next. Maybe there's another opportunity.
He's the head of the PGA Tour Enterprises or PGA Tour, something significant.
I prefer that versus it being a reason otherwise that you'd step down abruptly. So I'm just hoping that I think Seth Waugh is one of the best people in golf, and I think he's done a pretty good job with the PGA and one of the more level-headed guys in golf. So hoping that is the case. It would be, I think, a slam dunk hire for the tour.
Yeah, I was thinking about this a little bit. Like golf, one of golf's strengths, and then one of its great weaknesses, and why it's been disrupted is. There is no like strong central like body or person, right? Like, and it was glory days there with Tiger, and all the five families sort of balanced each other out. And, the leaderships of those families is, up and down. Some are, stronger than others. And then obviously it was a weakness. It like made it vulnerable to like someone with some muscle and money to come flying in and disrupt it quite significantly, as we've seen in the last 3 to 4 years with the I guess live golf or the PIF wedging their way in. And like in this moment, it feels like having stronger voices, leaderships, bodies is pretty desirable. And Seth Waugh, I think, was one of those people, right? Whose voice kind of ran out with a little bit of respect, was thought to be a pretty sound thinker, like a golf person, but also a business person. And so I think it was not critical, but it was a benefit to have him in place during this moment of disruption. Who knows how it would have gone differently, but yeah, it's just interesting the way golf is constructed, right? There's no strong central body to push back against live. But sometimes it's a benefit, right? In different eras, it's a benefit to have checks and balances and sort of different bodies having their own majors and their own areas of governance or whatever it is. But he's certainly been a strong leader.
You think it would have gone different than how Jay handled it?
I don't know. I think that's a hypothetical. Yes, it would have gone different. I don't know if different, good, bad, or the same, but I think it would have been different. You know what I mean? Same outcome in a different way.
Hey, you know what I forgot to ask you?
Yeah.
Do you think Russ Cochran could get into that presidential match?
I mean, I think he might be too fit and young. Fit as a fiddle. Throw Russ in there. We have a cutthroat corner coming today. I have some questions about someone playing at Detroit Golf Club, but look at you. I was wondering what you were doing.
He's going to jump into that match. Give him 2 aside.
That match is not happening. There's no long drive. There's long drive contest chatter. Who hits it farther off the tee? What are we doing? Who do you
think wins? Legitimately, who do you think would win in the long drive?
Donald Trump. Like,
there's no way Biden can outdrive him, right?
No.
There's no way. I see no conceivable fashion in which.
Does that matter to anything? I don't know. Maybe it does to you. I don't think it should necessarily, but yeah. Donald Trump's like, come on. Let's not bury our head in the sand about the way the world is in front of us. Anyways, on all matters. Anyways, let's go to we got Seth Waugh. We're good on that. We talked about Seth Waugh, significant change. We'll see how it shakes out after this. We have it's Backboarding Friday. I have some disturbing intel. First of all, we've got transcontinental backboarding going on.
Hold on.
What?
Did you see that a very impressive challenge was completed today?
The 411. What's the 411?
The 411. Not the 313, but we got a 411.
Not Frank Benzel Sr., but Frank Benzel Jr. goes back-to-back aces in Newport. That's pretty. I mean, first of all, you got to have a setup, of course, with par threes, consecutive par threes, or I suppose a short 4. You really want to get crazy here. He makes 2 aces in a row. The U.S. Senior Open. Is this
the worst part? Is he hits the bogey train right after.
Oh, he did.
Gives all 4 shots he picked up right back. 4 straight bogeys.
Really?
Well,
that's the way golf often works for most of us, and did for old Frank on a Friday morning. Newport,
do you think if you're a junior playing in the Senior Open, you should have to go by junior senior?
No. What? That's incoherent. What? No.
He's playing in the Senior Open.
I got it. I got that part. He's still a
junior in your name.
No. He could be muttering up there on stage. He's still a junior. Doesn't matter if he's 95. He's still junior. Yeah, Newport a little easy. Some 63s. Like, should the USGA set the Senior Open like just abuse, like they do the US Open, and really just try to pop them? I mean, I think it often is challenging, but some low scores, back-to-back aces, birdie fest. This is not the U.S. Senior Open that I've come to know and love. I'm the game that I love. What happened to it? I'm kidding. I don't really care.
Westy's in the mix.
Of course he is. He's working out every day. He's a little different. I mean, he should be. He should be in the mix.
What does this say about Liv that he was a bottom feeder? Just a bottom feeder, and then the chance at the U.S. Senior Open comes around in T4 all of a sudden. Do you think he's peaking for the Senior Open? Do you think he had the date circled?
No. No. What do you mean? He's like competing now and he doesn't care about Liv? Is that what you're insinuating there? No. I think he's just, maybe it says Liv's deeper than the Senior Open field. Maybe that's what it says. It's harder to perform on Liv than it is against the senior circuit. Who knows?
You know what I've been getting some intel on? Do you know what Omar's nickname is?
Someone sent it to me. What is it?
Haas.
Oh, yes. That's
Haas, your ST.
His nick. Oh, we have PJ wanting to chime in here.
I've done some cursory research on the Haas nickname. It turns out that is his brother's nickname. I don't know how we're attributing it to him now, but his brother used to caddy for him on the PGA tour, and he was the one named Haas. So I don't know how we're getting that to Omar now.
Haas Uresti. Well, we're going to still call him Slowmar because that's too good not to use every time we can.
What about Oman?
No, Slowmar. For puttering along in featured groups at Canadian Open, jamming everything up. Slowmar. We have a transcontinental backboarding scandal this week. The Italian Open put their grandstands, like glass paned, fancy little suites. Italian Open, 2 paces off the back of the green. Like, I mean, we're talking fringe, then boom, wall, and it's right on top of the green. I had a source on the European tour send me back right pin on Friday, 3 from the back edge, 5 from the backboard. 7 to some bloke in a linen suit and $1,000 sunglasses, an Italian. It is right on top of you. Then, so that's what we got. And they set it up as a short, maybe drivable 4. There's just glass everywhere. Ball's going to be flying into this glass, broken panes everywhere.
Do you think it's shatterproof?
No, I don't think they probably went that far ahead, quite honestly. It's a golf grant. I don't think so. I don't think that's the kind of precaution they're taking over there. Then I get inside information from the comms system, maybe the earpiece, fellas riding around at Detroit Golf Club this morning, Friday morning. This is straight from the radio to our podcast. Apparently, the 313 area was set up with just all way back pins. They're like essentially someone said over the radio, so-and-so rules official is a fan of backstopping, eh? 15, 16, and 17 are all practically in the front row of the grandstands. The pins are in the front row.
That's for today.
Shipping balls. This is Friday. He said it's all about entertainment. The 313 will be rocking today. So it's a deliberate entertainment choice to quote unquote put the pin in the front row of each grandstand at 15, 16, and 17. So backboarding all over the world this week. What are you going to say?
I was going to say the thing about they're probably thinking, when can we draw the least amount of social media ire by putting these pins? Maybe they're deploying them on Friday afternoon, assuming that's the least watched round of golf.
Is it?
I don't know. I kind of think so. What do you got? What do you think?
I don't know.
Not Saturday afternoon.
I mean,
get the weekend crowd shuffling in for the network TV.
I guess.
I think the least watched Friday afternoon. I feel like people are excited about Thursday.
Still at work.
Less excited about Friday.
I don't know. If I didn't work, I would do anything else on a Saturday afternoon out and about than watch the Rocket Mortgage Classic. But maybe Friday is lesser.
Why you gotta hate on the Rocket Mortgage? The good people.
It's not
Detroit.
Rocket. It could be anything. It could be any tournament. That's not necessarily a major. I don't know. Saturdays are good. Good time to go do something in late June.
You know what's actually delightful?
What?
The Saturday night DVR watch.
Yeah. Yeah, or just Saturday night anything else, not watching.
You might have a little buzz in you, and you get the golf on, and you just get fast forwarding through it.
Watch third round action of the Travelers or the Rocket Mortgage, whatever it is. I like that. All right, sounds like something that's a personal routine of yours. I like that.
Every once in a while.
Well, personal routine of mine is to get my oars and Alps, apply that Saturday afternoon, whatever I got going on, the pool, whatever it is, sunscreen them up. I was having a long conversation with a friend of the program, Jay Yarrow, at our member guest event on Tuesday. He's hit the dilemma. Sunscreens, apparently, there's all these studies that's bad for you, right? Like the old school sunscreen, right? It's actually like compounding the damage. But then like the new sunscreen makes you look like Casper, right? The mineral stuff. I mean, and you gotta get a razor blade to peel it off your skin, to scrape it off. It seems like in the shower and you're done. Oars and Alps, I think has hit the sweet spot, threaded the needle. Doesn't make you look like Casper. You go to Oars and Alps, the spray, it's got a good scent to it, like that. Of course, the stick is efficient for not getting your hands all junky. And if you got kids and you got to do their whole face, I had them for golf camp. It felt like it'd take 30 minutes. We'd be running late, but I grabbed the stick. It's 30 minutes becomes 2 minutes when you just apply to their face. You go to oarsandalps.com/shotgun start. Use the promo code shotgun15. You get 15% off. They've got products all over. They got deodorant, body wash, all sorts of stuff, but it's sunscreen season around here. I highly recommend it. This is stuff we bought with our own money. We already were getting this stuff. They came in. It's like one of our favorite sponsors ever. Can't recommend it enough. Shotgun Start. Oarsandalps.com/shotgun start. Promo code is shotgun15. Where else? Where do we want to go next? Do you have any takes? Do you have any thoughts?
What'd you think of the Cavs draft?
I don't know. I mean, we got a 20th pick. It's a marginal. I did like that. One website, we'd get the kid from Cal. I forget his name.
From my neck of the woods.
Jalen. Yeah, your neck of the woods. Yeah.
I could have gone and watched him this year.
And like one of these websites, his strengths, weaknesses, and then his comp in the pros was Isaac Okoro. It's like, great. All right. Well, okay, we have Isaac Okoro.
It seems like he can shoot more than Isaac Okoro.
I mean,
I was locked in for that
shoot
pick.
one day, can't shoot the next. I don't know. Maybe he'll be demonstrably better. Who knows? He's the 20th pick. We got a new coach. Who'd the Bulls take?
We got Matas Buzelis.
Oh, okay.
Local kid.
Okay. Local?
He's from the Western Burbs.
Oh, all right.
I'm excited. You know what I like? Okay. He's talking shit. He's a shit talker.
Oh,
he was saying there's an interview where he says that the number one guy, the French guy that went number one, wouldn't play him one-on-one. He didn't want the smoke. Knew what would happen, so they refused to schedule any one-on-one workouts with him.
Yeah. Oh, good. That's good.
You know what? He's 6'10" and he's 195. How about that?
I mean, a lot of these kids are. It's just the way it goes when they're 18. I mean, the first two, the Sar and Reece Sachet, just tall drinks of water. I mean, my one and done league where you got to take two. I've got Akshay and Davis Thompson. They're doing well. They're both doing well. And I was thinking that has to be sort of the thinnest, tallest combo out there this week I'm playing. You know, about 40 inches combined of waistline on those two.
I wish golf had something like the draft.
Sure.
Do you think TGL will have a draft?
No, they have a press release draft where we're just told who's on a team. You know, longtime New Yorker Xander Schauffele is running that team. Like, that's
it would have been so. fun if they had a real draft.
Remember the live draft? The schmockery of the live draft in London 3 years
we
ago.
We got the draft stuff beforehand.
Oh, we had the PowerPoint. We had all sorts of intel on that.
That was amazing.
That was
a high water mark.
Unsubstantiated rumor reported. We had some good. Well, this is how it's going to happen.
ZJ's in the mix. ZJ's 5 under
at the Senior Open.
12 shots or 7
Rocket.
Shots back. I can't wait till ZJ's eligible for the Senior Tour.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what he's doing? Running the ball, running the clock out till the Senior. No,
I mean,
Tour.
I think he's playing not horrendous golf, but I don't know. I don't think that's what he's up to.
All important FedEx Cup rankings.
What is it?
He's 146 in the FedEx Cup.
Oh, there's worse. I'll tell you who's worse. This week's
been. Cutthroat Corner, perfect.
Tell you who's worse. This week's subject of Cutthroat Corner. I'm not going to get into the gory details. This is a problem. Tim Wilkinson.
Oh, why do you have to go after the Kiwi?
Big son of Big Daddy Wilkinson, Tim Wilkinson.
Tim Wilkinson Jr.?
No.
What was Big Daddy Wilkinson's name? Was it Tim?
No, I think it was Dan. Dan out of Ohio State.
It
was Dan Wilkinson, number 1 pick, essentially. Played for Ohio State.
Dan Wilkinson, you're right.
Yeah, I am right. Of course.
God, he was a big burly boy.
Oh yeah, Tim Wilkinson. I don't know what to say. He hasn't been a competitive golfer in 3 years. I found some articles. He started to make his comeback. He's had injuries. He had real debilitating knee issues. He started to make a comeback at the New Zealand Open this winter. He's played twice on the Korn Ferry Tour this year. Made a cut. Finished 72nd, I believe, in one and missed the cut in the other.
Is he in on a medical?
I'll get to it. This is where I reached out to sources, esteemed counsel, people who would know to provide clarity. It provided further
PGA Tour
confusion. No, I didn't reach out to that. He's not really played a season since 2021. It's currently 2024. In 2021, his best finish was a T27 at the Puerto Rico Open, one of your favorites, a nice little T27 at the PR Open. That was 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
God.
His best finish. He's in the field when points are precious. In late June, points are precious. He's in the field. So inside the field document lists him as this is players 2 through 30 from the prior year's Korn Ferry Tour points list. Can't be that. Prior year, he was not playing golf. So he's not that. Top 10 from this year's DP World Tour. Not that. And top 5 in ties from PGA Tour Q School presented by Korn Ferry. None of those. He's none of those things. But he's lumped into that category. I asked, how is he in the field? What's going on? Is it a major medical? What is happening? He didn't play the Korn Ferry Tour last year. And what I got was he's on a KFT medical.
What?
Well, wouldn't the KFT medical bring you back to the KFT, not the PGA Tour? And so I said, what does that mean? It's not how it's listed. It says he's, prior year points, Q School, or DP. That's where he's listed. So he took a medical while he was in the reorder category. So he's in part of that category. And I think the category changes after the reorder prior to the Masters, and they all go into one big pool based on points. That provided no clarity to me. I'm still as confused as ever. He has no points. What's it based on? He has no points. He's made 2 starts. He missed a cut and was 70th in the 2 Korn Ferry events this year. He's not, I don't know how he's in the field, and I don't want to get into the details of his recent play, but he's 0 wins on the PGA Tour, is not past champ. I feel bad for him. Real health and knee issues. Has a big hat, a big bill. We like Tim Wilkinson. the Kiwi. It's wild to me that he's in this when points are few and far between that he's in the field. That's your cutthroat.
I wonder who didn't get in this week because he got in.
Full credit to Detroit. All their sponsors exemptions were used on like primo college players. You got Jackson Koivin, Shipley, like a bunch of studs, 4 or 5 studs, college players. But I'm confused by that one. Didn't really get that. Cutthroat corny. For real. That's not being too mean. Like, just look like he should be getting this on Korn Ferry Tour or something if he's coming back from an injury. It's crazy that he's in the field.
This is the time of the year where this is like the if you're a Korn Ferry Tour grad or a Q School grad, this is the time of year you have to make hay if you want to keep your card.
Yeah.
It is like do or die time.
He shot a respectable 2 over.
74.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. He's not played golf in 3 years. Essentially, 74 is same as Toasty. It's not the worst score. One guy, I gotta change the discourse here about someone who's struggling to make it or stay on tour to the best in the world, the very best. We're seeing some Scottie Scheffler discourse. Should there be an asterisk about what he's doing with, some of the
because of all the live players?
Some of them. I'm gonna flip it on you there. I'm gonna turn it and flip it. Or let's do asterisk. Like, this is what happens when anyone is excellent or dominant. You have first take, you have shows of trying to figure out, well, maybe it's not that great. Or maybe his teammates, he's got great teammates. Or this is why it's not as great. Let's just rein it in a second.
You're doing the LeBron. You're doing the LeBron thing. He had to go to Miami to win championships.
Well, he had the greatest NBA title the last 50 years in 2016. So that just wipes out that talking point.
What's the greatest NBA title in 16 years?
3-1. Coming back from 3-1 against the 73 win.
When the NBA reshuffled the deck.
73 win team with the unanimous MVP. That's about as good as it gets.
The NBA reshuffled the deck to allow that to happen.
I mean, I don't know. You could stop them from scoring 41. You got player 41-41. They won 3 games in a row. So that Miami talk is kind of null and void from that. He also won with the Lakers, 3 different teams. That bubble title is this, as bulletproof as it gets.
What do you think about Bronny? Are you happy that Bronny is playing with him? Do you think Bronny or Thanasis will have a better NBA career?
I mean, it's I don't know. Thanasis is not a basketball player. I know that. The Bronny thing's a complete farce. Like, it's a farce. And you have the people on TV should be calling it out, but TV is full of nepotism. Like, who's going to call it out? Jack Collins? Or like everybody on TV is like, dad was a producer, this, that, or the other. My dad was in the NBA. Like, that's like, it's a farce. It's a total joke. But it's like, it's not like Pick 55. Nothing comes of Pick 55, right? That they use the pick like it's a farce, but it's not. It's like if he makes the team next, it's crazy.
Hold on.
What? You're gonna research Pick 55?
Ridiculous. I'm not saying Pick 55, but second rounders.
Okay, well that's different.
Just throw out a couple second rounders.
Okay,
Jalen Brunson, Draymond Green,
You're moving the goalposts.
Jokic.
Yeah,
you got like the 3 of the best players in the NBA.
All right, look at Pick 55 through history. There's like never been anything, at Pick 55. All right, it's still a farce. I'm saying that's not okay. It's crazy. It's ridiculous, and it's bad for Bronny, and it's awkward for LeBron. But
why
the next
Bronny
step,
just be a free agent? Sign as a free agent.
Because I don't think he's good enough from what we've seen. So the Lakers.
Do you think he's going to be on the Lakers roster or the South Bay Lakers?
That's the next step. That's where it becomes like truly a sham. If they go the next step after just using kind of a minimal pick on it. We'll see. They hired some good takes about how they hired his podcast co-host as a coach and then drafted his son all within like a week. You got like 40-year-old LeBron essentially running the team. But that's been the way it's been for 20 years of his career. How about this asterisk talk with Scottie? I think it's a little ridiculous. He's going out. He's doing great.
You're going to flip it.
Fields are diminished. How about an asterisk for this? Throwing you a meatball here. Scottie Scheffler's, this is Jonathan Waugh, equipment reporter. Scottie Scheffler's driving accuracy has gone up 10%, 62 to 72% in 1 year since he switched drivers. I thought it might be an aberration, but look at this. Rory has gone from 53 to 68%. Fleetwood's gone from 62 to 76%, 14 points. Morikawa has gone from 68 to 78, another 10. So Rory 15, Tommy 14. Morikawa 10 percentage points bump in increase accuracy. That's a 10% increase for the quartet per John Wall. Common denominator is they all switched to the tailor-made QI10 this season. This is not a free ad read. This is more a popping of the QI10. Instead of continually touting distance gain, so we should focus on other areas where improvements have been made. No doubt it's dispersion. The numbers check out with our robotic testing data. Several of the QI10 heads saw little to no distance loss on the toe misses. Some even saw carry increases at 95 miles an hour. So carry increases on toe misses, no accuracy loss. How about that? Is the QI10 responsible for Scottie Scheffler's season and Rory and Morikawa and others? Is that an asterisk? Toe misses.
God.
Carry increases. What?
This is so bad.
What?
So bad.
I mean,
it
makes
makes change drivers and pick up, like, hit 10% more fairways.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's it's part of the game. It's part of sports. Is like optimizing everything you're using. Within limits or regulations. It's just
I'm
whatever.
looking forward. I'm
Scheffler
looking
was
forward
good.
to when TaylorMade does their hit it anywhere on the face project, like Titleist Speed project, and they do an exhaustive documentary on how we're building drivers for tour pros and tour pros only, where if they hit it anywhere on the face, it'll land in the fairway and go the same distance.
Little to no distance loss on toe misses. Some even saw carry increases. So that's an interesting just note. Jonathan Waugh, look, Scottie Scheffler's the best player in the world. He's a mega talent. It's incredible. It's not because of just his driver, but we'd love to see even more exacting test and that talent really shine and separate. And
I think to the people that are
he separated himself,
putting an asterisk next to it.
Stupid.
Well, like, okay, so if all the live guys were in the field, like, let's just say he has 2 less wins. That I think is being like extremely generous to
that's
the
a
live
big
players.
Chunk that's a big supposition to make, but yes, okay, fine.
And you can't, and I would say, like, you're not going to take away the Masters because they were there.
Yep.
So, like, let's just take away 2. It's like, oh, so now he has 4 wins. Like, it's still an insanely impressive year. One of the best that we've seen in recent memory.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it was like that last year. It was like that 2 years ago. It was like when a lot of those live guys hadn't migrated over. He's had pretty strong seasons as well, like when it was quote unquote less watered down. So, should we do a little golf forever golf advice here? Sign us off with Friday. Golf forever.
I'm sending an email to the USGA right now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
What are you sending?
I'm asking them if they saw that Jonathan Waugh tweet.
Really?
Yeah.
You pester them a little bit too much. You might have pestered them at Pinehurst about something too. You're like, hey, have you guys seen this? Is this up on the up and up? Is this are we sure about this? You're all over the place playing armchair equipment tester, armchair rules official, just trying to keep this world safe for democracy, I suppose.
That's right.
Golf forever, golf advice. Look, I did this on Tuesday morning in my hotel room. I brought it to New York. I had it in Long Island. I didn't know if I was going to play. We had an extra spot. I jumped in. Let me tell you, when I jumped in, my rotational forces were ready to rock. I started par birdie, par. Because I did my golf forever in the morning. I did my twisting and turning, my exercise. I did a full kind of stretching routine, and then a full 20-minute my first rotational forces routine. I'm big into this, Andy. I'm big. They send you everything. They give you the equipment. There's personalized instruction. I'm middle tees. I'm not back tees yet. I apparently couldn't do enough push-ups or something for them to say I'm the most fit to play the back tees. But the program they put you on, it's all personalized. You don't have to be Scottie Scheffler. The Scottie Scheffler jumped in and started using this stuff on his own recognizance.
That could be the driver accuracy increase.
The golf forever. Maybe that is it. Look, this is before he became, very, very wealthy and very, very accomplished. And the Primo's, he started using this because he was having knee trouble, and it helped get him back on track. This wasn't just because they decided to pay him $10 billion to say it's good. He was using this himself, but you don't have to be Scottie Scheffler. You could be an 80-year-old man. They personalize They personalize it for you, whether you're a 6 handicap or not. It doesn't matter. They've got personalized workouts. They've got stretching. They comes with the bands. You can buy various equipment and use the code EGG. You get extra $50 off any training system package. That's at golfforever.com, and use the code EGG. We had some trouble with this last week. We had a few people say they couldn't get it through, but they fixed it up. Use the code EGG. You get an extra $50 off any training. It's not a small amount of money at golfforever.com using the code EGG. Have you jumped in on this with the app yet? You start going?
Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff.
I did my first one yesterday.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I've been on a big kick with yoga the last month. And this is like the combination of that with some resistance training and some strength training. I've noticed such a big difference with the golf swing, increasing my flexibility. I think it's obvious, but that being more flexible helps with your golf swing. But I'm amazed at how much more effortless my golf swing is. I feel like I picked up just youth again by being more flexible. And I think this is a great system because it does a little bit of both, where you've got the training exercises that are going to increase your speed, but also just the flexibility stuff. So it's super easy to do, and it doesn't take a ton of time. And I think it's good for a life, just being a little bit more limber. I've enjoyed that, and B,
if you're a golf nut, you want to hit it 500 yards or whatever. If you're that intent, it's both. So, anyways, for what I like about it, like you said, is in this ADD world, it's something that's guided. It tells you what to do and when, and that's what I need to do this. I know I need to be more limber. I know I need to stretch more, but this tells me I'll open the app, I get going, I just do it. I make a commitment, and it keeps you accountable. So golfforever.com/code EGG. All right, let's get to golf advice here. Just because it's timely, Vanity Handicaps seem to be a pretty, significant source of discussion last night. I don't think Joe Biden's a 6. I don't think Donald Trump's a 3 or whatever he's at. A lot of talk about Vanity Handicaps. So we got several emails about this. I'll just bundle a couple together. 33, no kids, only interested in fighting the protesters at the Travelers. I have a buddy who I'll refer to as Wally, who picked up the game of golf about 2 years ago. Last year, Wally became a member at one of the nicer courses in my region. He invites me out with him whenever I want to get out there. Lately, my friends and I have been tracking one another in the USGA Gin app and stumbled across...
Hey, can I ask a question?
What?
Is it an invite? Does he invite you out whenever you want to get there? So does it count as an invite if you say, hey, I want to play some golf? Or are you inviting yourself?
I think you still have to be invited into the gates. He has to acquiesce to take you, and so it's still, you are being invited to the course.
It still counts as an invite.
Yeah, even though you might have kind of crowbarred your way in, but it still counts, I think. He invites me out whenever I want to get out there. Lately, my friends and I have been tracking one another in a USGA Gin app and stumbled across his handicap. He's been posting low scores, mid-80s. Again, he started the game 2 years ago. We all know he's not even breaking 100. Last week, we played our buddy's course and he kept score. Knowing he was cheating, we kept his score, and lo and behold, he claimed he shot 100. when we counted 126. So just a minor little insignificant 26 stroke discrepancy. He entered the 100 in the Gin app, and we all got a chuckle. We have a 24-person buddies tournament coming up soon. He's been talking nonstop about how he should be ahead of certain people in the ranking system, when in reality he should be last. We also have a member guest approaching. His handicap is clearly going to hurt us, considering he's not a 15. He's more of a 26. Do we confront him about this, or keep letting him lie? What do you do with this?
I mean,
depends.
I think you got to let people just flounder about sometimes.
Well, if it's starting to hurt you,
what's it legitimately hurting? What's it? You're playing in his member guest, and it
some
hurts
people
you?
Get intense about these things.
You're his guest. This is part of the deal.
He's shouting about the buddies trip.
The buddies trip is comic. It's
he thinks he should be ranked higher ahead of people.
Guess what? There's going to be a draft, and he's going to go last. Like, that's the way it works.
I don't know that it's a draft. It seems like it's slotted based on your number, on your handicap. Well, it doesn't seem like there's a draft.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just let the guy have a handicap the wrong way. You know?
I don't understand this. Like, he's harming himself. But I don't know.
He'll figure it out. This is the thing with people that are new to golf. Is like there's this idea that they got to get their handicap down, and then people that are like into golf are just trying to get it up. You know, it's like
I
these
don't know
tour
that's
pros.
The case.
They play as plus sixes. It's ridiculous. It's freaking ridiculous. They play as plus sixes. They're like plus tens.
Yeah. Right.
It's like there are a lot of very accomplished mid-ams that are playing. They're winning state tournaments and competing for national championships that play as like plus ones or scratches. It's like those guys will just take you to the woodshed. They're like plus fours or fives.
They should be plus five. Yes.
Yeah. And so, anyways, there's this whole thing with handicaps. Is once you understand the game at a high level, all you're trying to do is push your handicap the other way. I think he just doesn't understand golf yet, and you just have to let him. The sad thing is that he's going to learn by getting taken to the woodshed on the buddies trip. He's going to go 0-4 and 0, and that's what's going to teach him. Then the member guest, you're going to lose every match. But guess what? You're his guest at a nice club. You don't get a pick. You don't get to have your cake and eat it.
I think people like to take their L's and then just say I'm an 8 or whatever. But I just had a bad weekend.
That's the thing.
I think people that's the vanity mindset is like, oh well, on paper I'm this, but I just had a bad weekend and lost all my matches and shot 26 strokes worse than I normally do, or I supposedly normally do. Here's one more on vanity. Same rules apply. I want to start this by saying I'm not expecting you to solve this problem. Okay. I'm a member of a large club where as a 2-tiered membership, if you're in the higher tier, you can. This is a more nuanced dilemma here. I'm a member of a large club has 2-tiered membership. If you're in the higher tier, you can basically be a menace all over the tee sheet, scooping up the prime times before lower tier members like myself even have a chance to reserve. Real caste system within the membership.
Sucks. Such bullshit.
Early in my first year membership, through sheer happenstance, I became friendly with an older, higher-tiered member. Let's call him Rich. Rich is a great guy who also happens to be the ringleader of a regular weekly game consisting of rotating cast of 4 to 8 members. As a higher-tier member, Rich religiously makes the tee times and organizes who will be playing. His system for doing this is extremely antiquated and probably worthy of its own message, but that's not what brings me here today. What brings me here today is Rich and his vanity index. I want to preface this by saying that our game
another
is
vanity.
It's a theme here. Is not playing for big stakes. It's a 4-ball Nassau, whatever. It gets to like $30 maybe. Normally a vanity index would not bother me, but here's the thing. Rich has taken a shine to me and I'm always his partner. Doesn't matter the group or the game. Without fail, Rich will assign me to be his partner. After several months of playing together, Rich and I rarely winning any bets. Everything came to a head when I shot a personal best 74 and we still didn't win a single thing. How could this be? I was then started to do some digging into Rich's handicap, which hovers around 8 to 10. Much to my shock, Rich is routinely entering into Ginn scores that are 5, 6, 7, and sometimes even 10 strokes less than what he shot that day. Since then, I've pushed with limited success to play with a different partner at times, which Rich is rarely receptive to. What's my move here? I really don't want to confront him on it as he's the owner of the tee time, and I really appreciate him including me. That said, losing $20 every single time I play is pretty old. So a vanity dilemma. This guy is the key to the kingdom.
I don't know what you do here.
He's the 2-tiered. He's on the top tier. Likes you. Keeps bringing you along, and just I think this is the fee you pay for getting out. Guy shot his personal best and lost a bunch of money. His best round ever, 74.
This is a bad situation. I don't know what you do here. I'm kind of stumped. What do you think, Brendan?
I mean, I think you try to keep pushing for new partners, like he said, with limited success. I think you got to stay in Rich's good graces. At the end of the day, it's about playing golf, getting out there. I get that this comes with a cost, but if he's getting you out faster and in more preferable times, I think that's the primary golden goose here. What
if you tried to push for a game that's partnerless, like a not like a wolf or a bank, or like a banker where you don't have.
I don't think you're pushing for anything with this guy, game partner or otherwise. He seems pretty settled in his ways about how this goes.
I mean, the other thing. I don't know. I wouldn't go. I don't think I would go this route, but if you're super desperate, maybe you talk to your golf pro and say, listen, can we institute some
oversight
on posting, because this guy is posting incorrect scores.
I don't think you call him on it to his face.
I hate the handicap police.
I know.
But this is where you need the handicap police.
Do you agree with me? You don't call him on it, say actually shot 10 worse today, or that was
no.
You just
can't
leave that
do
alone. You just let him. You don't want to get on this guy's bad side. It seems like,
or you just take, like you said, this is the price you pay to play golf. You join a nice club.
Keep your own.
Institute a cast policy. I think you're better off trying to overthrow the cast policy, to be honest, and then you can play with whoever you want.
Get your own lead access to the tee sheet. But yeah,
I would try throwing balls on the first tee. Try and push for that. Let's throw balls. Let's mix it up.
Yep. Doesn't sound like there's a lot of headway being made on alternate suggestions for anything.
I mean, the other thing that I've found is you could institute. I played this game once where it was you got to pick which tee box you got to play at.
Yep.
And I was playing with this older guy, and it was if we held the tee, we just went all the way back, because I knew we were just gonna bludgeon them from the back tee.
Yeah.
But if it was a disaster whenever they won a hole, because then they go all the way up, and that's a cool game.
I like that.
This 7-year-old who was a 14, became a fucking assassin.
Yeah,
he was clearly a guy that was a 2, who just didn't hit the ball far.
Couldn't get
anymore.
It out there from
and all of a sudden he's getting wedges in his hand, and it's oh no, what are we doing? And they get the tee. It was a disaster trying to get it back. So baby is Rich is his biggest problem distance. Could you institute a game like that, and then whenever you win a hole, let's go to the front tee, let's get Rich up there, and this flips it. It flips got to flip it. An advantage, to us. I don't know. This is a hard situation.
It's a tough one. I'd say just play for yourself, keep your own scores, and pay the price of these side games, these partner games that you got going on. Yeah, it's
when you go to church and they put the offering around. It's just your donation for your Sunday morning golf.
That's all automated now. So it's all online. They're just taking money. Really? If you forget your wallet to go to church, there's no excuse. It's just all automated on the internet. All right, last one. This is a great one. This is a great email from our friend Mark Sider. Playing golf as the wife's tracker. This is a great classification system. We're going to need some feedback. This is just the start of the discussion here. We're gonna formulate a real guide to this based off this email. Playing twilight golf is a beautiful thing. How does Twilight Golf get classified in the quote playing golf counter meter that the wife seems to keep in her mind or her husband? Can you gentlemen provide some definitions to the following quote playing golf? Yes or no? What counts as playing golf? Classification for the golf wife tracker. My answers to the right. One large bucket at the range. Heck no, this is called meditation. All right, not quote unquote playing golf. I would agree with that. Andy, one large bucket at the range.
Yeah, I agree. That's
we
like
agree.
It's a workout.
We agree. I suppose we should open this up to the council of significant others too, to see if they agree. That's really what at the heart of this.
Have a missus on right now.
We might need to get a poll going or a focus group. Playing Twilight Golf. He says this is called walking the dogs. I mean, how many holes?
I know he regularly brings his dog out.
Okay. I think if you're playing more than 2 or 3 holes, it's going to probably count as playing golf at home. You? It's not walking the dog.
I think so.
All right.
I think that bringing the dog lessens the blow of playing golf because you're doing something good for the dog. I noticed this. There was a golf course in Chicago that I would bring our dog to with me, and my wife was noticeably happier when I returned from golf. Noticeably, because the dog was happy.
Yeah, and if it's a scenario, sure, that's great. If it's a scenario, you have kids, young kids, you could get them involved, then I think you're also sort of lessening the quote-unquote playing golf negative connotation meter.
So I think you go from 9 holes, like you cut your golf in half. It was, like playing 9 with the dog is like hitting a bucket of range balls. So you've cut it down to a 40-minute pursuit.
We saw a guy in North Carolina playing golf with a stroller. I mean, if you could do that, I think that's also cutting down into the, stroller or kids running with you, then you're really cutting into the negative playing golf. All right, next one. Playing 18 holes of Twilight Golf, but unintended and at accelerated pace. The dogs are training for Ironman. Or it says, next one's playing more than 9 holes of Twilight Golf. Says the dog's got great exercise. Doesn't count. He says it doesn't count. Playing a little bit more than 9. 18 holes, it says the dogs are training for an Ironman. So he didn't plan to play 18, but just is moving, and all of a sudden, it's 18 unintended. Dogs, still walking the dogs, according to Marks.
Get a robust workout.
Playing on a weekend, but only playing 9, he classifies as hunt out with the friends, hunt out with buddies. Only 9 weekend holes apparently doesn't count as playing golf. And then finally, playing 18 holes for a proper score. He says, yes, I played golf. How do we feel about this? I mean, I feel like this is aspirational. And I really... it's
very aspirational.
I admire your creative framing and context that you might be able to argue. I would say everything beyond the large bucket gets a little dicey, and I appreciate your efforts. It's straining to make it anything but quote unquote playing golf. We'll have to come up with a few more scenarios and a whole class.
I think the thing I notice is like playing golf, like who I play golf with matters in my household.
If you got a brother-in-law, father-in-law, you're in the easy street there.
I mean, that's the ultimate easy street.
Yeah.
If you're playing with your parents, that's like a tier below. I think the in-laws.
Uh-huh.
If I'm playing with like my best friends, that gets like, because it doesn't happen a lot. It gets like it's like, oh, he's going to play golf with his best friends. Yeah. That's like, that's A-okay, So it's like, and then everything else falls somewhere in a bucket below that. Like it's a spectrum.
Where are you at these days with playing golf for work? Because we play a lot of golf for work. It's literally our job. And I'm starting to fight a little bit of more battles on that front because that's a big category. It's a big bucket. It's like I gotta play for work. I'm playing with a guy for work. And it's like, well, that's everything.
I'm at the point where the work doesn't get get a second glance. I mean,
yeah.
I think it's very much part of my job.
Yeah.
So, and well, let's be clear here. Like, I think like the difference is like my golf on the road.
Well, yeah,
is exponentially higher than golf
at
home.
Golf at home is not a thing.
I told someone this week at our event. I was like, I can't even remember the last time I thought about playing golf on the weekend.
Yeah.
And that could be that it's just, but like I think about playing golf during the week. I think like I get encouraged to play afternoon golf during the week. Like that, is something that my significant other knows that brings me joy. But the weekend golf with how much I travel is just it's not even, I don't even think about it unless it involves bringing my kid somewhere.
Yep. That's getting the kids out is the point of any weekend golf at this point. So, all right. I think that does it. A good prompt. We'll have to formulate a few more. What falls in as not playing, quote unquote, playing golf. One large bucket, I think, is all I see on that list, but I appreciate Mark's creativity. All right. Everyone enjoy your weekends. We'll be back next we're going to be in July, I think, next recording. I think it might be a first of the
July
month.
1st?
I think so. I think so. If today's the 28th, Saturday's the 29th, Sunday's the 30th, Monday must be the 1st. It might be a first of the month recording.
I was going to miss it.
Treat.
I was going to miss it, but I might have to come back.
You might have to dial in. Everyone enjoy your long weekends. We will see you in July. Talk to you then.